Hi, this is Tony with Titanium Wireless, and this is Titanium Wireless's Tech Talk Tuesday with Tony. There's all your T's, and let's get started again with the iPad. We talked last week about the iPad Pro and how it's transitioning from just a tablet into a full-blown workstation that you can bring into the field, as well as take it to your desk or take it home, which many of us are working from home right now, and use it as a laptop replacement. That's at least what Apple's goal is. And the Magic Keyboard, which we will try out, and it is coming in May, a full-size keyboard for the iPad Pros. But one thing that they have done already, and you can download the update 13.4, is the new OS for iPad, which includes mouse support. So I'm going to demo what that looks like on the iPad Pro now with an 11-inch iPad Pro, but not the brand new one. So even if you have an older one, it will work. And so I'm going to show you that, show you some tips and tricks, and make you start thinking about whether you would want to use this as your dual device, not only in the field, but at home. So it's time to go ahead and connect the MX Ergo or whatever third-party mouse you want to your iPad. So we're going to go to Settings, and we're going to go to Bluetooth, which we're already at. Okay, if you notice currently it's not there. Okay, then when you turn on your mouse, you'll see there it is, the MX Ergo. I'll put it in pairing mode on the mouse. There's two different choices with the MX Ergo, so you can do both, but I'm going to go ahead and choose one. It should ask me, and it's asking me if I want to pair, and I click pair, and it's connected. So now you see that there's a little gray circle on my screen. Remember that as we're used to a mouse, we're used to that cursor, we're used to that arrow. But because it is an iPad, they're trying to mimic the fact that it's a touch device that you use your finger for. So if you notice, I've got this little gray circle, which works like my finger. First thing, I'm on a mouse, I don't want to touch the screen. How do I get back home? Well, if I scroll down, I'm using my mouse right now, I'm not touching the device. And if I scroll over the line at the bottom, you see how it kind of went inside to the line? That's how I get home. So now I'm on my home screen. Right clicks work. If I go to an app that has a force touch menu. So if I go to, let's say, for example, Outlook, and I right click, just like if I was a force touch, I've got new email, new event, view calendar, show all windows. So that's one thing I love about having a mouse on the iPad, is it opens up all these menus to me that maybe I didn't always use. Okay, if I go to Excel up here in the corner, new workbook, not workbook, but a workbook, and I can do that. Okay, I can delete the app, I can edit the home screen, all that. Okay, if I wanted to go to my control center, which is normally done by going up into the corner and doing a swipe, what I like now is I can just go there, see how it highlights that. If I click on it, there's everything I need. And when I click back, I'm there. Okay, so just like your finger, but I actually think in some ways it's easier, but that depends if you're a mouse guy or not, or a mouse girl or not. So let me show you some of the things that you can do with your mouse control in the settings. So I'm going to go to settings. If you notice, see how it's kind of popping up a little bit each time I scroll over. Okay, if I wanted to go to the next screen, I can click on the dot and it takes me to my next screen. Okay, so if I go ahead and click on settings, again, I'm using the mouse, and I go to accessibility. I'm scrolling by using my scroll wheel, just like I would a mouse with a menu on a desktop. I'm using the scroll wheel to go up and down the menus. If I click on accessibility, okay, you notice I've got all of these choices. I scroll down to pointer control. Now I can change some things, okay? I can increase the contrast. So if I click on that, it's easier to see the contrast for my circle, which is representing my mouse. Okay, I can automatically hide it. What I think is a big deal is to change the color. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the color so you can see where the mouse is going. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose, there's no titanium purple, that's sad. But we're gonna go ahead and choose red, okay? And also how thick that red is, okay? But it gives you something to see, okay? Normally I would touch. Now what I like there is that it highlights where I'm going. So if I go back, the pointer size, okay? If you have really large fingers, that would match. I'm gonna go ahead and put it to about that, okay? Pointer animations changes the way when you go to a button, notice how it doesn't kind of get taken into the button. That's what pointer animations are. And then the scrolling speed. So I do appreciate that, because at first, when I first started using the mouse, it was going too slow, not as fast as my desktop or my laptop, and this now helps. So I've got all the settings I want. Now remember to go back home. I'm gonna go down here, and I like the red because now it highlights, it shows me where I'm going, and now I've got my mouse. I wanna show you now how it handles text. It makes it much different when I'm using it in a Word doc or one of the other applications. Notice here when I scroll over, it knows it's text, so I can highlight it, I can copy it, and we're just gonna put it in the bar so you can see, paste, and then everything shows up there. That's Tech Talk with Tony for Titanium Wireless on Tuesday. And everybody out there, be safe. If you're working from home, remember that Titanium Wireless can provide you with all the mobile data and mobile devices you need to keep your business running in this time of coronavirus. So be safe, everybody, and have a great week.